House hunting is a real bitch. Always make sure to do a few simple things. Figure out if it's within distance of some of the best schools so your kids can have a proper education and make some new friends in a new place. Always make sure that it's within a reasonable driving distance of your job so you're not just spending all your time on the road, and you can have a great goddamn time working and then coming home to be in a new place with your great family. And always make sure that the house isn't a fixer-upper, that you don't have to do a whole bunch of renovations, or you could do none of that. Like The Family in the Cellar, a Shudder original written, directed, executive produced, edited, and possibly copy made by Brendan Muldowney, who's directed shorts Savage, Love Eternal, and Pilgrimage. This stars Alicia Cuthbert. Yes, the girl from The Girl Next Door, who's now a woman. I mean, she was a woman then, but you get my point. She's a brunette here, virtually unrecognizable. She's also an executive producer. I think there were about 25 million executive producers on this. I think they all chipped in about $50, at least judging by that amount of producers. I think they chipped in about $50 and a ham sandwich. And since it's in Ireland, possibly potatoes. Sorry to anybody from Ireland that hasn't been watching this, because there's been some terrific Irish horror movies that have come out, and some great Welsh horror movies, and some great UK horror movies. The whole point is, the UK is stocked with a bunch of great comedies, comedy horror, and there's a great mythology, great landscapes, great atmospheres. You can make a really good goddamn horror movie. Or it could be like the family here, it's the Woods' family, and they actually have a house in the woods that they bought on auction, didn't bother to do any goddamn research at all. It becomes abundantly clear within 5 minutes this family is full of the biggest morons that you've seen in your goddamn life. There is the aforementioned Alicia Cuthbert, who plays Kira Woods, and her husband Brian, played by Ian Mackin. I apologize if I got that name wrong. Irish names, might have gotten that wrong. They work for a firm that hires actors, not crisis actors, but actors that put people in a crisis, and they play vloggers. And this crisis is like, oh my God, we got to follow these latest vloggers, but they're not actually vloggers. They don't believe what they're saying. They're just actors paid to get you to buy their shit. Okay, so that's pretty much anything in Hollywood. If we're being perfectly honest, that's pretty much all the stuff with the media. We're trying to get you to watch our shit. That's pretty much it. We don't really care if you're going to buy into that. We don't care if the actors will buy into it. And it's a really weird way to make a living. But if they made millions, that's fine. They had to buy this house on auction, though. Didn't bother to do any research. Didn't find out if there was any dark, spoopy stuff going on. Didn't question why there was furniture left in the goddamn house, why there's weird symbols above the doors, and why the cellar has some weird noises. And their daughter got locked in within the first 5 fucking minutes of them all getting to the house. And the daughter doesn't like the house. And even though the daughter's a fucking bitch, the daughter's Ellie, played by Abby Fitz, by the way. And then there's their son Stephen, Dylan, Fitz, Maurice, Brady. And then there's also a supporting character named Erica, the beautiful Tara Lee. My goodness, gorgeous blonde. Need to see her in more movies. Really wish she would have been in the movie more. I mean, she certainly could have spiced it up. Hell, other characters could have spiced it up. You know what also could have spiced it up? If it wasn't so painfully generic and boring and everything and agonizing to watch when there's a good idea here. And unfortunately, the movie just fails to utilize any good ideas. It just goes for the most linear path with generic music, generic cliched scares, everything you can see coming from about 50 kilometers away. No good acting. Anybody that tries to attempt any goddamn emotions, you just don't understand what the fuck, why the fuck they would even try. And look, ideas, there are some good ideas in even the worst horror movies. And it's not even like this is the worst, but it's just so mind-numbingly lacking in anything good or anything, not even revolutionary, just anything where it's like, it sparks my interest. This is just like a malaise, stuck in molasses, stuck in like a quagmire, giggity of just like nothing. Nothing really gets accomplished here. And while, yes, the movie does try to have a point by the end, by that time, you don't really care. I didn't care about 30 minutes in, but I'm like, you know what? I'm going to stick with this movie and see if I'm proven wrong. Because sometimes I haven't liked a movie for the first 30 minutes, or I've kind of, whatever, stuck around and been like, shit, this is really good. I understand why I didn't like those first 30 minutes. I had to set that up, and there's nothing wrong with a slow burn. The Feast, A Banquet, a bunch of other movies that have come from the UK area that are pretty goddamn good. This ain't one of them. They don't, basically the plot such as it is, all that stuff I told you, the daughter Ellie ends up, she's at home with her brother Stephen, and the power goes out. She's calling her mom because she's very terrified. She got locked in the cellar and then freed. She doesn't want to go down there, but she has to go down there to check the switch box. So she's counting the steps, and then she counts to 10 because there's only 10 steps at the bottom. And then she kept counting. She kept counting. She kept counting. And the parents got worried, so they went home. And then they figured out, holy shit, our daughter's missing. The police don't really do anything great because the police are almost a non-factor in this movie. They just are there to say, yeah, we got cops. We got this generic thing checked off the bingo card. And then more research happens. It turns out that there was something really, really dark that happened at this particular place I'll get into when I do spoilers. And once like more shit happens, because earlier, just before Ellie went missing, her and Steven listened to this old record on this giant phonograph thing, where it was doing a weird mathematical equation that actually has a tie to this house and has a tie to something possibly very, very dark. Very dark. So goddamn dark you don't know what's going on in the cellar, and by the time they reveal it, you realize you shouldn't have fucking cared in the first place. The bottom line with this movie is, as they do, they try to have a whole thing where, something may have happened to the previous family and that's why they got the thing so goddamn cheap. But they didn't bother to research the goddamn thing, figuring out, oh wait, maybe we shouldn't have bought this house that clearly had something weird going on. We probably should have done even a little bit of research, but we didn't because we're fucking idiots. And then we want people to feel bad for us because we were idiots? No. I was just like, please, something bad happened to every single one of these characters so I don't have to watch this anymore. This movie was not very good. It was very annoying. I didn't understand why this was supposed to be scary. Every scare was freaking just like, it was all just, it was so generic. Like, oh, we could see this scare coming. Oh, wow, that reveal. That's so goddamn shocking. You don't need to reinvent the wheel when you do horror. You just need to make it pretty goddamn decent. Unfortunately, even the good idea here it just freaking bombed. It just exploded, and there were just pieces all over the goddamn place, and what was left was a malaise of boredom. Aggressive boredom. Now I'm going to get into spoilers. It is on Shudder, though, if you want to check out Shudder. I'm not sponsored, wouldn't mind being sponsored, but Shudder does have a lot of great stuff, originals and otherwise. You can check this out if you want, but prepare to be bored. 3, 2, 1, spoilers. Okay, so they're doing their research. They figure out these symbols actually form some type of triangle. They form triangles, and it forms a pentagram. It's demonic. What? The previous family, all but the daughter, disappeared. This daughter, tells her it's not just the cellar, it's the house. You need to get out of the house. And Ellie isn't the only one doing the counting, because Steven's doing the counting, because even though he's playing video games, there's this weird room with this hollowed out ram skull, and whatever it is trying to get to them. It's not actually Leviathan, because that's what the mathematical equation ended up being revealed as when the scientist or this genius figured it out. No, it's actually Baphomet. I believe that's how you say it. It's a demon, a guardian of hell. And they finally show this guardian of hell at one point. And boy, I was laughing so goddamn much to the point where I'm like, wow, you're serious? I know this is an indie horror movie, but come the fuck on. Maybe don't aim for something like that if you can't fucking deliver. I've seen worse, don't get me wrong, but I was like, I wouldn't be scared of that. I'd be like, what the fuck is this? Who's this motherfucker wearing this? And I get my head torn off because I'm mocking a demon. Don't mock demons. Don't communicate with demons. Don't summon demons like those kids in the background that aren't actually real. They're just drawings on there. Don't be drawings of kids summoning demons. There's your lesson for the day, kids. So, kids, why the fuck are you watching? Why are your parents letting you watch this anyway? I'm swearing. Don't swear. Don't fucking swear, goddammit. Anyway, Kira finally realizes things are really, really fucked up. Her son keeps counting down. He's burning up because he had a pentagram drawn on him or seared on him. The husband's counting. She heads into the basement after this demon tries to come after her. And the staircase suddenly is a long, long staircase. And then she goes down the long, long tunnel and she finds her daughter. And her daughter is counting among a whole bunch of people that are just counting endlessly and wandering around. It's like that place for lost souls in the Pixar movie Soul, just without any life energy or any enthusiasm, and you really don't give a shit what happens to any of these people. That was a lot of people, by the way. A lot of extras for no goddamn reason. But she finds Ellie, and she's like, "Oh, Ellie, you're counting. Oh, Ellie, you're all right. Let's get here. Let's do this thing. Let's get back here." So let me backtrack for a brief second. Back to that genius. The genius mentions the Schrodinger cat thing. Remember that? Cat in a box. The cat's both alive and dead until you open the box. All that thing, whatever. And that's the whole thing about this this house, because the reason there's this long tunnel is there's this interdimensional portal thing, and then it may be connected to this house in Belgium where another family disappeared. Oh my God, it sounds so goddamn great. And look, that is kind of scary. Here's the problem: the movie didn't bother to make that scary. So the Schrodinger cat thing, that's mentioned, and oh no, maybe you could be trapped in something. Maybe it could be like Inception. She grabs her daughter, brings her back, but suddenly everybody's counting except her, and she goes out the door, and suddenly she sees the stairs. They are trapped. She doesn't bother to go up the stairs and maybe see if she can get out. No, trapped in an endless loop. So she starts counting and joins her family, and that's it. That is literally the end of the movie. That's it. F. Look, there was a good idea here. It was horribly executed. I didn't give a shit what happened to the cast. That's all I gotta say. F. Anyway, agree, disagree with what I said, like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Rickland. I'll see you soon.